The narcissist pushes until the point of no return. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, the point of no return, you should know what that is by now. It's when you've crossed a line, or perhaps the narcissist has, and you can't go backwards. Point of no return is, an example would be, if you have been waiting to put off studying for a test the whole semester, and the semester's test is tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and you haven't lifted one page to study and learn about it, well, tomorrow's the test, and you're probably not ready for it. You see, you've reached the point of no return, and perhaps you won't pass. But that's why you and I are not the narcissist. We would study and we would get straight A's. The narcissist would cheat, or they would make cliff notes, or they would sit next to somebody and bribe them, or try to get the answers to the test ahead of time. You see, the narcissist is a parasite, and the narcissist wants to take the easy way out. And what they want to do is they want to push people as far as they possibly can, day in and day out, week after week, month after month, till they break those people. Eventually, each and every one of these narcissistic relationships, it does end up in Destructionsville. It does end up with a discard. It does end up with somebody being hurt. It does end up with somebody removing themselves from a relationship. And it does end up with somebody having to heal. And that person certainly is you, and it definitely was me. Whereas the other person just slithers off onto a new supply source. Now, why the narcissist took you to the point of no return, it's because A, this is what they do. They take everybody to the point of no return. The narcissist knows one speed, and that speed is full speed ahead. They want to lay on that gas pedal of abuse, of manipulation, and of toxicity as much as they possibly can to break people, to make themselves feel better about themselves, to put themselves high on a pedestal and say, see, you're not as strong as you thought you were, or you gave everything, but it still wouldn't be enough and I still broke you. Now, does the narcissist actually say those words? Quite possibly. Are they going to think those words? Absolutely. Does the narcissist know what they're doing? Yes, they do. Think about one common denominator in the narcissist's life. It is they themselves breaking multiple relationships. And these relationships could be with their own kids, their own stepkids, their own parents, their own siblings. Could be with their spouses. Maybe they're on husband or wife, number 5 or 6 right now. And no, I'm not saying anyone that gets married more than once is the narcissist. What I'm saying is the narcissist goes through people the way you change your sneakers or your shoes. They look at people as appliances. They look at people as pawns to be moved around on that invisible chessboard of toxicity and of manipulation. And the narcissist will break that relationship that you were a part of and the one that the new supply is a part of, and any relationship they can, because the narcissist cannot regulate themselves. Now, I've been saying that for almost 5 years, regulate themselves. What exactly does that mean? That means the person you are considering, they don't have the ability to just be. Can you hear how I'm using my words a lot slower now? And there's Mother Nature around me, and there's people walking behind me, and it's nice and peaceful here in the Carolinas. Well, this is called the ability to just be. The narcissist can't do that. The narcissist runs around on a script that is dictated by a person or a energy source from the underworld, and that script just keeps going around and around and around and around in a loop. And that script will never stop until the narcissist leaves the planet. Now, there's a lot of wisdom I'm unpacking for you, but what you need to understand is A, this wasn't just you that the narcissist broke the relationship with. B, it wasn't just you who was caught up in a trauma bond. C, it wasn't you whose money was stolen, your time, your relationships, your health, your hobbies, your purpose, and your clarity. And 4 or D, the narcissist is still doing this right now if they're still gallivanting the globe. Now, do I wish narcissism would be eradicated? Absolutely I do. I wish I didn't have to go through the cycle, but I did, and here I am. I wish you didn't have to go through it, but you did, and here you are. Narcissism will not be eradicated anytime soon on this planet. That is a bitter, tough pill to swallow, but it's reality. Another dose of reality is you are the collective consciousness, like I am, which means you were trapped in a cycle you didn't even know existed. You too reached the breaking point, and you too most likely were discarded, or maybe you entered it yourself, but anyway you cut it. You have your same experiences, as do I, with gaslighting, with the silent treatment, with mirroring, with triangulation, projection, and on and on and on. You didn't know these terms way back when, but now you do. And now that you do, you owe it to yourself to do your part for yourself for those loved and trusted ones around you, and for the planet. Now, I'm not trying to put pressure on you at all. I'm trying to relieve pressure from you to get you to understand that there are billions of us, with a B, billions of us, and that number is a very, very good estimate of people who have been trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle, most of which are still trapped in it, unbeknownst to themselves. You are a different person. You're a different breed, as am I. You are out of the relationship and you're healing. And you're understanding that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And there's no room in your life for toxicity now or in the future at the hands of anybody, specifically not only the person you're considering, but any toxic person. You see, you've been to hell and back. You were trapped in an invisible prison. You were brainwashed. You were led astray. Your life's purpose or your life's journey was misdirected. It was misguided. You took a left turn at Albuquerque when in fact you probably wanted to go straight. Well, the narcissist had different plans for you. This is why when you're in these relationships and you don't know what's going on, because nobody in their right mind would stay in a narcissistic relationship once they get the wisdom and they understand they have to get away from those people as fast and far as they possibly can. There are caveats. I do understand it. There are children who are still reliant upon the narcissist. There are people who are still not divorced or trying to break free. There are other people who are being dragged through the legal system or custody. I get that. I had experienced all and or more of those things. But once you get the wisdom, you do need to apply the tools. And by applying the tools, what that means is you need to understand life gets better, a lot better. And that the line was drawn in the sand by the narcissist or maybe even by you. That line won't be drawn in the sand ever again because you won't need to do it. The reason why you won't need to do it is because you won't get as close to toxicity as you were before, because before you didn't have the wisdom. You were not taught this in school, so how could you know what gaslighting was? How could you know that toxicity had two legs? How could you know that somebody could love bomb you? How could you know that somebody could claim that they had no money when they were stacking and hoarding your money and their money, and they were burning through your money, and once your money was depleted or depreciated or gone, then they were gone. Side note, pro tip, what does the narcissist love more than money? You got it. That's right. They love your money. And when you didn't know that and you were giving to a fault and you were an open book and you were considerate, kind, loving, and you were committed, that person took advantage of everything I just mentioned and so much more. And money was at the top of that list. You may have thought it was something else. It wasn't. It was money. And money doesn't necessarily mean paper money like a dollar bill in your pocket or a credit card or a debit card. It's what money can do. It's access to clubs. It's access to yachts. It's access to ski chalets. It's access to the latest concerts, to dinners, to cars, to Amazon, to the vices. There are many of those that the narcissist participates with. See, that's what money does for people. It buys them time and it buys them a roof over their head and internet and food, but it also buys them certain luxuries if you get that far with your money. But having said all these things, why the narcissist, why it reached the breaking point with the narcissist? It's because the narcissist had already been grooming other people while they were with you. Now, those people may not have been romantic relationships, but they quite possibly could have been. On top of that, the narcissist got jaded and bored with you in the relationship that you were a part of because it became too commonplace. Quite honestly, it became too regular, and that's what these people can't have. The narcissist needs stimulation. The narcissist needs to always be on the go. Narcissists can't sit still, and they will do whatever they need to do whenever they want to do it if something better serves them than what they had planned originally. This is why you could never win when you were with these people. This is why they change their ideas or their notions or their thoughts or what they're going to do at the drop of a hat, because they are loyal to nobody. They don't care about anybody. They're cowards, they're bullies, they're shallow, they're hollow. There's no substance to them. And remember how I opened this video with the test that you should have studied for, and you and I both did, and we got straight A's, but the toxic parasite put it off because they were too busy grooming other people or cheating other classmates with, and then they try to cheat on the test. Well, what did the narcissist get? Got what they deserved, big fat F. A big fat F, because they are a failure in life. You may think, wow, that's a little rough. Well, think about it. Who in their right mind, and I do mean that, goes through life trying to destroy other people's lives? Somebody who doesn't really have all their marbles, or somebody who is missing a component to life. That life should be cherished, honored, relished, embraced, enjoyed, and celebrated. Life shouldn't be somebody being a human piñata. Life shouldn't be somebody walking 30 feet in front of another person. Life should not be somebody using a pet name to call you by instead of using your name. Life shouldn't be you going to bed, sleeping next to the narcissist, let's say it was a romantic relationship, and they're on one of their 3 smartphones up till 4 o'clock in the morning, laughing, giggling, chuckling, having a party and a riot, and you can't get sleep, and you're saying, why are you talking to whoever you're talking with, and you're having a great time, and last night you were miserable, you didn't even talk to me. Come to think of it, you gave me the silent treatment all last week. What's going on here? Well, now you know. Ding, ding, ding. See, your replacement is always one day away from the narcissist, which means when you were in the relationship, you were always holding your breath. You were walking on eggshells, you couldn't be yourself, and you weren't being treated properly, to say the least. And they were always, meaning the narcissist, they were always looking to get what they could get from other people. Some of those people they had met before, many of them they hadn't. Some of them they were stalking on social media. Some of them they were parts of your relationships before you met the narcissist. You didn't even know the narcissist was talking to those people. That's a whole different conversation. I'll say that again. Think about who you entered the relationship with when you met the narcissist. On your side, you had your immediate family, you had your coworkers, your neighbors, your friends, your hobbies, all those things. Well, of all those people, I can assure you that the narcissist met some of those people not only through you, because we know that, but they probably circumvented you and went around you to meet some of those people. And it was just their wink, wink, little secret that nobody was supposed to know about. See, I hope you understand what I'm sharing with you. There's no trust with these people. There's no integrity within these people. There's no honesty. There's no being forthright. There's no genuineness. These people don't care about anybody but themselves. And if they can circumvent going through you to get to the people that your support system were a part of and try to infiltrate those people, which is exactly what the narcissist did, well, you are in a very challenging, debilitating, vulnerable position, as was I, but we didn't know these things. I wouldn't put anything past the narcissist, not one thing, and you shouldn't either. You need to understand that you reached the breaking point, and the breaking point is not a good thing, but it's what we all reach because each and every one of these relationships has an expiration date. We didn't know that back then, now we do. So just think about this, because I'm going to close the video in a second because there's kids approaching. Every relationship has an expiration date. Every relationship reaches the breaking point. Every relationship has micro discards. Every relationship will end. Many times these endings come via discard, and many times people don't even know that what's going on because they're doing their best to get back to the inception of the relationship or the love bomb stage or the euphoric stage, but they don't know what they're in. I didn't either. If you don't know where you are in life or what kind of relationship you're a part of, and the other person does, and the other person's a narcissist or a predator, it is advantage them every single second until when? It's right, until it's not, until you get the wisdom and until you put 2 and 2 together and you finally go no contact and you block that person. You delete them, you remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them, if not now, when? Now, if you can't do it today, I understand, it's not that easy. You'll have to do it methodically, patiently, stoically, you'll have to have a plan. Perhaps you'll have to get ready to create, develop, and execute your exit plan like I did. But eventually you will figure out that life gets so much better without these parasites on your back. Life gets so much better when you cut the 4 ties. The emotional tie, the financial tie, the physical tie, and the spiritual tie. As you cut those, you get stronger. As you get stronger, the narcissist gets weaker. As they get weaker, they matter less and less to you. The less they matter to you, the more you realize that that relationship wasn't as bad as you thought it was worse. And not only was it worse, it was the relationship from hell. I've said that word twice. I usually don't say that word, but I'm trying to emphasize and highlight and point out to you that you need to go no contact. If you haven't done it, what are you waiting for? You cannot maintain avenues of communication being open to the narcissist so they can rear their ugly head and hoover you in the future. You need to maintain no contact and you need to block them. And everybody, and I mean everybody, experiences the wrath of the narcissist. Everybody reaches the breaking point. Most people hit the line in the sand. It depends on what you do when you reach the breaking point. Do you pick yourself up by the bootstraps, dust yourself off and heal properly like I did? That's what you're doing. A+ for you. Or do you stay stuck, pining, wondering where the narcissist is, who they're with, experiencing FOMO, thinking you could have done more, wondering why they don't love you, why they didn't care about you, why did you stay in it so long, believing that they were the love of your life, etc. Well, if that was you, and for a period of time, yes, it was me, it was all of us for a period of time until it wasn't, or most of us. If that was you, that means there's work to be done. Remember, wherever you are on the journey, I was there. If this is day 1 for you, I was there. If today's the first day you arrived at the mountaintop, the pinnacle of indifference, and you've planted your flag up there with me, I was there. If you are reaching at getting stronger and you're still learning, and maybe today's the day you remove a couple social media accesses to the narcissist, I was there. This all equals one thing, and I'm going to close the video. You needed to take the bull by the horns. You need to do your part. You need to do something or many things that no one's going to do for you. Nobody's going to knock on your door. No one is going to be there to support you knowing what you went through other than people, and I would be one of those people who have gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle and healed properly. Your average person can't wrap their head around what you're talking about. Your average person is in the everyday fog. They have no idea even what narcissism is. And then there are people that are the narcissists, which you know about or you're learning. And then there's the true empath like myself, and that's probably who you are. You need to understand that you are more powerful than you know. You are stronger than you know, and you can't quit. Don't ever give up. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. You need to believe in yourself the way I believe in you. And I too reached the line in the sand. I too reached the threshold. I too reached the breaking point. And when that happened, that spun my world upside down. But I will tell you one thing, that was going to happen one way or another. As soon as you get the message, and as soon as you understand that these people, the toxic people, they only deteriorate, they do not improve, and they will never, and I mean never, ever elevate or ascend. They are stuck in that low vibrational quagmire state, and they can't get out of it, even if they wanted to, and they don't. They can't. As soon as you understand that, then you'll understand you can't save them. You shouldn't help them. You shouldn't lift a finger to do anything for them. What you should do is bat down the hatches, seal off airtight gorilla glue, super glue, every avenue of communication to that person, and heal properly. Because we've all reached the threshold, we've all reached the breaking point. And the breaking point can be sometimes a good thing, meaning, example, let's say, forget narcissism for a moment, but let's say you were going to work and you couldn't stand your job and you had to quit, but you didn't quit until you got a new job. Well, there you go, you finally left on your terms. That's a good thing. With the narcissist, it's not like that. It's you're being peppered with abuse, you're being punished, you are being abused. That's why you need to get out as far away from these people as possible and as fast as you possibly can, because the longer you're in these relationships, the more toxicity you experience. The more you experience, the more you're going to have to unwind and unravel, and the more you're going to have to heal from. So before I close the video, I'll just share this. Every single person, and I do mean every person who's ever been in a toxic narcissistic relationship, has reached the breaking point. They've all reached or drew the line in the sand, or it was drawn for them, and they've all had a decision to make. What am I going to do? Am I going to pick myself up by the bootstraps, dust myself off and heal properly? Or am I going to continue to think that the narcissist one day will come back, or to think that they did love me, or to think they did care about me, or to stay stuck in the past and wondering, how did I let all this happen? I can't believe this, and all that time's gone by and my life is ABC. Well, again, we're all human beings, but it's what you do with your experiences that makes you you. You are resilient, as am I. You're courageous, as am I. You are my hope as you're practicing stoicism, which I've done my whole life. And you've been in the cycle, just like I have. I'm out, I'm staying out. If you're out, you need to stay out. You need to understand that that line in the sand's been drawn, and the narcissist pushes everybody, and I mean everybody, to the breaking point. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And there's a couple kids over there playing because the weather is beautiful today. Just want to share this. If you're still in the relationship and you need to create, develop, and execute your exit plan, stay with it. Do things in your time. Trust the instincts of yourself. Trust your intuition. There's a reason you made it this far in the video. If you're out, you need to stay out. But any way you cut it, you need to understand you experienced toxicity, you experienced abuse, and you experienced manipulation at the hands of a human being, or perhaps something darker than that. Any way you cut it, you need to get away from these people as far as you can and as fast as you can. They don't change, and they know it. I love you all. God bless you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.